Similar to when we looked at SUVAT and vectors, you can also look at forces and vectors. Force, remember, has both direction and magnitude, which means it's a vector quantity. So, using the equation we've used before, F equals ma, we can use this equation but using vectors. So if we know an acceleration, we can find the force, or if we know the force, we can find the acceleration or the mass. Remember, mass is just magnitude, it hasn't got direction. So a constant force F acts on a particle of mass 2 kilograms for 10 seconds. The particle is initially at rest, and 10 seconds later it has velocity 10I minus 24j ms to the minus 1. Find F. Right, firstly, to use the equation F equals ma, we need to know what the acceleration is. We know what the mass is, and the mass is 2 kilograms, but we need to find that acceleration. Remember, the acceleration is the change in velocity divided by the time. And we're told that the particle has initial speed at rest, so its initial speed is 0, but we are told that its final velocity is 10I minus 24j, and this is for 10 seconds. So, firstly, we need to find the acceleration. Using the equation, change in velocities divided by time equals the acceleration. So, the final velocity is 10I minus 24j. Now, the initial speed velocity is 0, so we don't need to put anything for that. But we've got to divide this all by 10, because it's for 10 seconds. So, if we calculate that, we find that the acceleration of the particle is equal to 10I divided by 10, which is I, minus 2.4j. So that's the first part of the question completed. Now we can find out what the force is by using the equation F equals ma. Remember, the mass of the particle is 2 kilograms. So F equals 2 times the acceleration we just found. So the force is equal to 2I minus 4.8j newtons. That's one style question. Another style question could be where you're told several forces that are acting on one particle of a certain mass. So here we have forces F1, F2 and F3 acting on a particle of mass 3 kilograms, and we're asked to find the acceleration of the particle. The first step to do in this style question is to find the resultant forces acting on the particle by firstly adding up all the forces together and collecting together the I components and the j components. So firstly, find the resultant or total force acting on the particle. So you've got 2I plus 4j at minus 5I plus 4j, add 6I minus 5j. If you collect together all the I parts, you've got 2I minus 5I, which is minus 3, add on 6I, which makes 3I. And if you do the same with the j parts, you'll find that you get 3j newtons. So the total or resultant forces acting on this particle of mass 3 kilograms is 3I plus 3j. Now, using the equation F equals ma, we can find out what the acceleration of the particle is. So the force is 3I plus 3j. The mass is 3 times the acceleration. So to find out what the acceleration is, we divide through by 3. So 3I divided by 3 is I, and 3j divided by 3 is j. ms to the minus 2 equals the acceleration.